What is up, Sooner Nation? Welcome to the Sooner Surge for the nightly 9:30 live, hour-long episodes we do each and every night for you, the viewers, for the fans, by the fans. A unique thing that I think we do here at the Sooner Surge, Jay, with the comments and just embracing all the comments and community here at the Sooner Surge. Appreciate everyone that's already hopped on here. It's time to ramp it up. It's OU Texas week. It's 9:31, and Texas still sucks, and they're a heavy favorite going into this game. Number one, the AP poll is out. Number one, first time in 40 years that OU plays a number one Texas in the Red River rivalry. Mac Brown was the offensive coordinator for the Sooners, and here we go. It's time, boys.
It is time, and I guess I'm going to go with what Mess is here. Talking to Bobby, response to Bobby. Vandy chose to play the game on Saturday, didn't they? And by the way, go look at the stats from the Vandy game. They dominated Alabama. 12 of 18 on third downs, outrushed Alabama. How can you explain that, Jerm? How does that happen?
Jackson saying run a 3-2-6 against Texas.
That's what they ran against Tennessee. They're not running that against Texas. And they might run some of it. They're going to be multiple. That's what they're going to do. They always have been. Listen, we can talk all we want, I think, about the defense. This game is going to land on offense for Oklahoma and how much they can put out there against Texas on Saturday.
Hey, real quick, where's Mr. Stutzman? It's a bye week, so we said, bye week this week. Plus, hurricane weather out there where they're at. It's going to be a rough few days. Keep them in the prayers. All those on that East Coast, man. It's a rough time right now.
That's right. We are live, Okie Lawn Guy, as always. Alabama never led in the game. I mean, there's so much from that game specifically that you could talk about and say it just doesn't make sense on paper. But you know what? The last time I checked, maybe wrong, football's not played on paper. It's a real sport.
Yeah, Jay, you can throw it out the window. I've used the analogy all week. Hey, Arkansas gave Tennessee, they basically watched film on OU Tennessee and used the exact same scheme.
Yep, they used the 3-2-6 that Jackson mentioned, it, except they played it 60% of the time, Arkansas did, and it proved well against Tennessee. So this weekend woke a lot of teams up, I think. Texas won't come in smoozing. Hey, Coconut Greg, Texas isn't going to come in smoozing ever against Oklahoma. Now, fans might. You have a lot of fans that'll go one way or the other. I can promise you I don't think any football player on OU or Texas is overlooking the other one. It's just not going to happen.
This says it talks about the SEC is an absolute bloodbath, and it is. If OU can pull off this upset to Texas, it's going to be chaos. Yeah, here's the deal. If OU can, and listen, if OU pulls the upset and LSU takes care of Ole Miss, no one's talked about it, but LSU's leading the SEC.
Yeah, and hey, Michael, appreciate the kind words. It's people like you that keep this show going, so thank you very much. Appreciate that a lot. I want to get to this. Kajagoda says Texas thinks they're going to blow us out. They always do. Just like I think if you went into OU's locker room right now, most of the OU players are thinking, I mean, they aren't scared of Texas. They won 4 of the last 5 against Texas. They don't bother OU. I'm sure OU players are thinking the same thing. They're going to go in there and beat Texas.
I'm gonna get fired up because
I am too. Here we go.
Because the rankings are firing me up, and I see what Sooner Freak 29 says. The first part of your comment, I disagree with. Unfortunately, the College Football Playoff Committee are human beings. And I don't want to say unfortunately.
I test.
Listen,
that's all that matters.
They're going to base their first rankings based on what these rankings are. So, to me, it's ridiculous. The rankings shouldn't matter, but they are going to matter.
Jeremy, who would
Sooner fan, you're right. The only rankings that matter are the college football rankings. I agree with you. They don't come out till November, but they're going to base some of their rankings on where they're at. That's just a fact.
Hey, appreciate it.
It can't be that way.
Appreciate it, Chris. Let me ask you this. And Tyler, this is an absolute joke. If you can't figure out the rankings, don't tie people. That's a get out of jail card. That's weak sauce if I've ever seen one. 3 teams tied at number 18. Are you kidding me? Here's the deal about the rankings, and I'm going to say it's going to be the same deal when the playoff rankings come out. There are going to be so many situational things that, hey, this team beat this team, but they lost to this team. Alabama beat Georgia, but they lost to Vandy. There's only going to be, in my opinion, there's going to be computer stuff coming into play. But I think the majority of those voters in the playoff committee, it's going to come down to one thing and one thing only, period. And it's going to come down to eye test. That to me is the human element that you will never be able to get rid of. The eye test. Whatever the eye test is to everybody, it's different for everybody. But that will be the determining factor. There are going to be too many teams bunched up in the SEC, Big Ten,
But
all of it. It's going to be eye test and who's playing well at the end of the year. That's what I think they're going
a
to base
lot of
it.
it's going to take care of itself. Frightening Truth and Sooner Surge and Hunter said that it's because of the number of votes, which it is. But and Dalpo says likes my opinion on stop ranking teams. This is what I would like to see starting next year. There's no rankings. Everyone
And I
plays
agree
their
with Bobby.
schedule. Everyone plays their schedule until the first college football playoff committee rankings come out. There is no rank. There are no
I agree.
rankings until then.
I would think we find that. And Quentin, I disagree on this. I disagree wholeheartedly.
It's
Because
easy.
What's that?
It's still, he says it's hard to mess up.
It's still
easy
going to be
mess up.
difficult. It's going to be difficult in the SEC and Big Ten, I think, trying to pick those teams.
Especially when teams are playing different people. Colin said, is Michael Hawkins the best quarterback Texas played? That's a bad take. No one knows what Michael Hawkins is yet.
Yeah, I think he's more saying who have they played quarterback-wise.
I agree. They haven't played.
I think that's more of what it is. Michael says OU is the only team that can lose to a number 4 team and drop. Alabama got beat down from a no good team and drop only 3 spots. Here's the deal, and I said this in a video we put out earlier. It is not the fact that Alabama lost to Vandy in these people's eyes that vote. It's the fact that a week earlier they beat Georgia. That's all they care about is the big wins. I don't think they value the bad losses as much anymore. I just don't think they do. Now here's the difference on OU. OU hasn't beaten anyone, so you can't say that. Like if OU were to go beat Texas this week, here's I'm gonna say it right now. If OU beats Texas this week, OU should be a top 6 team. How right now? I want to ask you a question, Jeremy. If OU were to beat Texas on Saturday, how is OU any different than Alabama? They beat the number 1 team, so did Alabama.
They have a way better loss. They have a way better loss than Alabama.
OU's loss against Tennessee, theirs against Vandy. How could you not put OU ahead of Alabama at that point, right? It won't happen. I'm just saying, do you see the logic behind all this? It's all silly.
Yeah,
it's all silly.
A couple of things right now before I lose my ever-loving mind. First off, I'll tell you why I'm going to lose my mind in a second. First off, Tyler, all year I've said there's going to be 2 or 3 teams at 9-3 get in the SEC. There's going to be maybe 2 at 10-2 and then 3 at 9-3 that are going to get in. And of course, I think that even happens for sure now. Bobby, what do you mean you guys know Tennessee is way overrated? Because they lost at Arkansas? If you're going to say Tennessee's overrated, then say Alabama's overrated.
Wait, if you're going to say Tennessee's overrated, Michigan?
No, Bobby's sitting here saying you all know Tennessee's overrated. Why are they overrated? Because they lost to Arkansas and they beat OU? Come on. Alabama lost to Vanderbilt. Say they're overrated, Bobby. Say it right now. You won't say it.
Well, no, I mean, nobody's going to
No one will say Bama's overrated. It bothers me, dude.
And that's it. Michigan is still ranked with 2 losses, are they not?
Correct.
Aren't they right behind Oklahoma? And you're right, Ron. We did say, in fact, earlier this year, I said they haven't beaten Arkansas in Fayetteville in 23 years. They still haven't. They're still trying to beat him. So now I want.
Are you saying Tennessee, Quentin, or are you saying Alabama? Because I thought Alabama also struggled with USF.
They did. But listen, real quick. I do think the Tennessee stuff is a little real because, but here's what I would say about Tennessee, guys. You don't even need to look at this year. Go look at Tennessee in the last 4 or 5 years on the road. They struggle.
Josh Heupel's bad on the road, Jay.
It's a known fact. They're a different team on the road than they are at home. So you can say overrated. I don't know if that's the term. I just think they struggle on the road. They have for a few years. That's a fact.
I give Quentin props. He's saying both are overrated, and that's fine. Guys, I mean, if Texas goes down this week, this is a wide open national championship year. And hey, speaking of Alabama doesn't play defense, Malachi Moore needs to be benched.
I agree with you, Jerem. And hey,
he would not go off the field when his coach pulled him out. That is, DeBoer is going to have. He's got his hands full right now.
And by the way, back in the day, defense was all that ESPN and everybody talked about. Now all they care about is offense, I guess, because they don't say anything about the teams that don't play defense anymore. And I think anybody on here, I know you got a lot of OU fans on here. We got a lot of Texas people on here. Right now, to me, it's Texas and Ohio State, and they're on another level than the rest of they're up a little notch. Now, I think those two teams are the most complete teams. I think Tennessee has their issues. I mean, you could go down the list. Texas and Ohio State, from what I've seen so far, now granted, neither of them have played very good teams. So it's hard to judge. I think Perryman said it earlier. It's hard to judge on anybody overrated right now because you don't have a big enough kind of I guess, on paper enough to see it.
Hey, Jonathan, I know you're a Texas fan. First off, I don't play football for the University of Oklahoma, so I know what you're meaning. They didn't struggle with me. You're saying they why did they struggle with OU? They did struggle with OU. Did you watch the game? OU handed them the ball 3 times. OU played abysmal offensively, maybe the worst offensive performance in the history of OU. And they had a chance. So I would say they did struggle with OU.
They did. Hey, the Hub.
Jeez. I'm not guys.
It's Sunday. I've not changed it yet. By the way, this was a crime. If anybody stayed up and watched that debacle, first off, Cal, you can't blow a 25-point lead in the second half. Can't happen. But also, if you're going to have targeting, call targeting, please. I mean, that was a perfect example of what an actual targeting is in that game, and they didn't call it. I mean, it changed the game. Changed the game.
And Coconut Greg, it was embarrassing. They let him have his way. He refused to come out of the game after throwing a tantrum, and they said, okay, fine, we won't make a scene. We'll just let you stay out there. It was embarrassing. Refs gave Miami the game. It's the second time this year. Texas hasn't played a competent offense. They haven't.
And this is a pretty real dead-on fact by Selwyn. They played about the same defense, ran the same defense. They have a better offense than OU. I do think I would like to have seen the game with Hawkins in 4 quarters. I don't know if they'd have won. I'd have liked to have seen it.
Jonathan says, no, they didn't. The score doesn't represent that game. Tennessee threw 21 times, and you gave up 200 yards.
They got some big plays.
OU's defense played the whole game.
Yeah, I don't know if you watched the game, Jonathan. I think based off this, it says, looks like you're going off stats, but they gave Tennessee the ball all day on OU side of the field. So, yeah, Cal did get screwed. But
ask Josh Heupel if they struggled against OU's defense.
I don't think this will happen, Benjamin. I see where you're going with this. I just don't think it will happen. I don't know why I can't click the comments, but.
Benjamin says we need to have an offense. Yeah. I love what Vandy did to Bama. OU's offensive line isn't very good. I think there are going to have to be some tricks. There's going to have to be some packages that OU's worked on the last 2 weeks. I will say, I think, and you're going to hear this, you're going to hear players say it all week, that they're very excited about the game plan. You're going to hear it all week, but I don't know what that means.
Hey, and Quentin here, who is a Texas fan, says Georgia will be the first basic complementary component offense Texas faces, and we will be exposed. So he's not very. I kind of disagree. I'm not sold on Georgia's offense. I mean, and they've had some struggles stopping the run. Georgia has, but here's
Tyler
the thing:
says the line is insane.
Hey. Well, the line at 14 is on ESPN. The Vegas line is sitting at 8.5.
That's like FanDuel's. That's not even a good line, Jay.
The Vegas line is at 8.5, which I think is a little high. I have it about 6 right now, is where I have the game. But
hey, Quentin talks about the leaky run defense. The problem is that doesn't fit with what OU is, because OU is not a great running team. If OU had a great running game right now, I would say Texas in a lot of trouble. Sooner fan. What kind of passing attack is Seth Luttrell going to use first? Here's what I personally think. I think Texas is going to sell out a little bit to stop the run. They're going to force Hawkins to throw some deep shots. I hope that OU takes some deep shots and then some quick bootlegs. That's what I hope to see.
Hey, Clark, appreciate it. He's gifting one Sooner Surge membership to somebody. Hey, you get that. You can join the Discord. It's going to be great stuff. Somebody grab
Don't
that.
waste your
Thanks,
time. Get
thanks,
on it.
Clark. Aaron,
Hurry
I
up.
agree. Aaron, I agree with you here, bud. I mean, right now, I mean, I do think people do not want to hear this, but and I'm basing it off. They haven't played anybody, but they did play Michigan in Michigan. To me, Texas, both sides of the ball, might be the best right now from what I've seen, but it's hard to tell. I mean, and OU may just beat Texas this week and be 3 weeks in a row that the number one team loses. It can very well happen. For the people that say it's not going to happen, it can't happen. Can't happen. That's not true. Now, even though I'm picking Texas right now, doesn't mean I'm not. I would be surprised if OU won. I got this a one possession game going down to the end. I do. So
Okay, a couple things. I 7-0 against Iowa. I mean, the only flaw I think Quentin, Ohio State could possibly have is maybe their O line allowing pressure and Will Howard. I don't know if Will Howard can win big games.
I'm
Second
not
of all,
sold on Will
Bobby,
Howard.
how y'all couldn't contain Nico? How you going to contain Quinn? Well, I don't know. Ask Quinn how they contained him last.
Why do you continually put comments like that up there when, Jeremy, these exact same comments were said last year before the game? Okay.
I agree.
So
That's my
why are
point.
we
That's
going
why I'm
back?
putting him on there.
Why are we going back to a year ago comments? The same thing happened last year. OU, it was a 6.5, 5 point dog, whatever it was. They have no shot in this game. Okay. We all remember how that happened. So I just throw it out the window. And I'm about to lose it because here we are in week 6 of college football, and I've been saying it for 3 or 4 weeks. Stop comparing football games in college. You can't do it anymore. If that's the case, Vanderbilt's better than Alabama. Okay, Bobby? You can't compare week to week games. You can't do it anymore in college football. It's getting there's too much parity. Too much. You can't do it. Bobby, I don't wait. Bobby, I apologize. I don't know if you said it, but I'm saying a lot of people were saying
it was
it
the
last
narrative.
year. It's a narrative.
Slap
something, great God said. There
hey,
you go.
By the way, 2 things. One, Famone said if OU beats Texas, the SEC is back to ground zero. It absolutely is. Second of all, the question about, or the comment, Quinn is a totally different quarterback than last year. He's also coming off an injury. And I don't know if he's going to have time to get to his second read if OU gets a lot of pressure on him.
Hey, who you got? Who you got? Oregon, Ohio State.
I have Ohio State, Jay.
I got Oregon.
I'm not picking DG in a big game.
I got Oregon in Oregon. I don't know if DG will play well, but I don't know. This is a game of 2, I think, good college quarterbacks, but not great. I don't think Will Howard's great. I don't think Dylan Gabriel's great. I think they're good quarterbacks. And I agree with William here, 100%. I think OU needs 2 turnovers. And on that, William, if they get 2 from Texas, I think OU needs 0. I think OU needs about a 2 turnover advantage to be great in this game. But here's the thing. They've been doing it all year, so.
I agree. Updated time. It's KJ Godin said it's 9:48. Texas still sucks.
That's right. That's right. I think Monty's on here. Appreciate it, Monty, for joining.
Does Texas does Texas fans have a show, on a nightly show? I'm just curious.
I thought you wanted to do a collab with one of them, Jerm. What was that about?
I don't know, Jay. We may have to look into that.
And I can promise you this, whether or not he has turnovers or not, I would promise you OU gets to Quinn pressure-wise. They lead the SEC in sacks. They're going to bring pressure. They will get pressure on Quinn. So, I mean, I don't think they did last year. They will again this year.
Benjamin, Ewers' best win was at Bama last year. Not even close.
Don't forget, last year before OU played Texas, the narrative was OU has played nobody. They hadn't. They didn't play anybody last year. Okay? Texas. Wait. Let me finish, man. Texas had 2 ranked wins. One of them being Bama on the road. Everybody thought that was going to be a cakewalk for Texas against Oklahoma. OU hadn't played anybody. OU wins that game. So I mean, it who knows?
I mean, I wouldn't have thought that Houston could have played with Texas last year before the playoff, yet they almost beat them. Actually, really could have beaten them.
Why aren't we talking about Houston?
Just because I
Please.
felt like it.
This isn't
Yeah,
baseball. It's
I
not
saw
baseball.
I saw Danny on the breakdown. I mean, nothing surprising is what was said. How sweet would it be to see Boganowski on a blitz? Yeah, look, I don't know who all is going to be used, but I think they're going to try to dial up a whole lot of pressure. That's their best chance. They can't let Ewers sit back there all day. The secondary won't hold up.
Ewers is too good of a quarterback. He'll pick you apart if you give him time.
It's called The Outsiders, Jay. There's one called The Outsiders.
I have to look it up.
I haven't watched any of them, so I don't know.
I have to look it up. Quentin doesn't like him.
Not fans. Quentin's not a fan. Hope BV kept Smitty away from the team during the bye week.
It looked like the players did some of them went away for the week or weekend at least, maybe got some time away. So we'll see. We'll see how they look. It's going to be here before you know it. And did you see the weather for Saturday, bud?
What?
97.
Wow.
That's what I saw today. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I saw 97 degrees as a high. Well, and it's not an 11 o'clock kick. It's a 2:30 kick. So, when was the last year? Maybe that's a trivia question. I don't know the answer. Last time they played a 2:30 kick. Mid 2010s, 2015.
I thought it was in the 90s, but you guys corrected me.
Baker year, 2015.
Okay.
Maybe 2015, 2017. Maybe Hunter says. Hey, now we have not touched base on this. Okay, he's banged up, but I think, Mass, and maybe the Texas people in there can tell me if I'm wrong or not, but don't you think he could have played last week and he just didn't, or 2 weeks ago? I think they could have played him against ULM or Mississippi State, and they didn't.
Abdominal injuries, they can linger. They can linger.
Yeah, that's what I thought, Quinn. I thought he could have played that game, and they can linger, but you can kind of get.
You should want to play their best. Ewers.
Aaron, here's the thing. The best defense for OU, I do think, just from what I've watched of Texas, and I may be wrong. I've been wrong a ton, but they're not a great running team with what they have right now. I just don't think they are. They're a lot better passing efficiency team. They're ranked top 3 in the nation on passing. So you got to stop the run. You got to make them one-dimensional, but at the same time, I don't think you need to run a bunch of run stuff to stop the run. I think you can maybe do it with what you have up there. I think you could bring extra pressure. I'm not a defensive coordinator. I trust Zach Alley on that. He's called great game plans up to date, so I'm not. I'd be shocked if he didn't have another great game plan up his sleeve.
How much time they're going to spend putting their guys on an island on the outside is going to be interesting.
Yeah. And who you're going to put on who as well.
Who they're going to put on who, zone. Yeah, first off, no one should be acting like they want an injury. I'm not saying that at all. I don't think that's what.
Heck no. Now, Greg God is agreeing with Jackson. 3-2-6.
OU's played that a lot, Jay.
Yeah, and they've done pretty well in the 3-down linemen, so we'll see. Hey, you know that Brent Venables and staff will have a great defensive game plan, and you know Steve Sarkisian. I think what Steve Sarkisian does very well, probably he might be the best in the country at this. I think he's better than Lincoln Riley at it. Okay, there you go. He's better than Lincoln Riley at this. Lincoln Riley was great at scripting plays and stuff. Steve Sarkisian is probably the best in the business at making adjustments in game. I believe that. I believe that to my core, that he makes great adjustments during the game.
Core, huh?
To my core. Okay, he's not. Okay, what, Ron? That's fine.
Hey,
I think he is.
I've got this Famone's thing. Here's what I'll say, Famone. Every fan base has some that just can't forget things and live on to things and wishes and hopes and dreams. I'm not like that. It was a loss, period. Let's move on. But yeah, every group's got them.
Oh yeah, every fan base has that. And
And no, by the way, no one said they wanted Ewers to get hurt. They made a comment that OU's going to hit him a lot.
And by the way, we haven't even got to this, but I got to say it. The Tennessee incident last night in Arkansas was an absolute. And I saw the guy apologized, the player. And unfortunately, that's what happens when people rush the field. You have incidents like this. You can't be doing that. You can't be pushing people down. It's a disgrace. You can't do it. You can't do it. I don't care. That's when you have to be. And Grey God, I understand. We're probably going to get into something here. Maybe I shouldn't even have brought this up. But Grey God, you're a player. No. Let me finish, Jeremy. You know exactly what you're walking into when you walk into a road environment. You know exactly if your team loses, you're going to have people heckling you. You know exactly that if you lose, they're going to storm the field and you're going to have somebody walking right by you saying you suck. You know exactly that's it. Put your head down, walk to the freaking locker room, and go talk about it in the locker room. Do not put your hand on somebody. I think that's ridiculous.
Jay, it's with any job, profession. You're held to a higher standard than some, and you're going to get taunted. You can't tell me players don't expect to get taunted. They cannot do things like that. That's just a fact. Now, I'm not saying fans, and listen, I get fans shouldn't be interacting, but just walk away. I mean,
hey, first off, the hub. I agree 1,000% with you. Fans should not be interacting. If I was on the field with my kid and my kid was doing like, if OU had just beat Texas and he's doing horns down in a Texas player's face, I'm like, let's not do that. Let's just not. But you got to expect it if you're a player. You're playing the game. You know they're going to storm the field. Get to the locker room. Just move on and put your head down and go on. I mean, it's unacceptable, man. And I know people are going to do stupid things. Now, I will say this. If a fan puts a hand on a player, no way. Can't happen. You cannot do that, fans. You can. But there's going to be people talking smack down there. It happens all the time.
Has OU ever rushed the field? I can't recall. Maybe Nebraska 2000.
OU rushed it against Nebraska 2000. Yeah.
2000 Nebraska.
Yeah.
Yeah, sports definitely did. There's got to be a discipline there. I mean, I think, and listen, I saw the coaches going over to tell Jalen Milroe in that one that, hey, just FYI, it was a security guy going over there and saying, hey, here's what we're going to do.
We've talked to some coaches about this, and they have a game plan before the game, and specifically basketball, I think, is when you see it more often than not. But they have an exit strategy. Well, you know, if you lose and they're going to rush you have an exit strategy to get off the field. Okay. And you know what? I really wouldn't even have a problem with the player yelling at a fan. If they're yelling at him, you cannot lay your hands on him. Okay. Let's move on.
Any update on Burks?
No. Personally, Jerm, I can't say that I'm expecting him to be out there.
I don't expect Burks to play, Jay.
I mean, I just don't know if because
I don't even know if Deshaun
he might. I
don't even know if Deshaun McCullough is playing.
I don't either. It's one of those things all year long. We're in Game 6 until I see these guys out there playing. What are you going to base it on?
Paid more. They're already paid really well. Nick Anderson won't be back against Texas.
No,
not happening. Sorry, I just don't think there's a way. I don't even know if there's a will for there to be a way that quickly. So it's going to be an absolutely blast this week, though.
This is a great question by Tyler. I like this. Here's what I'll say to this, Tyler. If he doesn't play any at receiver in this game, why did they move him?
Exactly, why? Jay. Exactly.
Because then you're at 3 weeks now of practice. And if he's not playing by this game, why did you move him? You could have used him at defensive back, maybe. I mean, I think he either plays or you wasted the move.
Yeah, that was reported Friday. Hey, I have a question, Jay.
Yeah.
You think Texas can be got with misdirection?
They're a very fast defense, Jerm. Very fast. That's probably the strength of their defensive side to side.
You think they over pursue?
I just think they're very fast side to side. Uh, I think where you can get Texas is probably down the field, and I just don't know if OU has. They haven't proven they can do that yet, other than a few plays. I think that's where you get Texas is down the field. Michigan couldn't do it. Look what happened to Michigan. They couldn't do it, and they were stuffed.
Clyde thinks Farouk is the first receiver back. KJ Goded says, I want to see JJ Hester with Thompson and Slot. But really quick, I get it, KJ Goded. Why are people all of a sudden in love with JJ Hester, though? He had 2 plays.
True. I got to see it again. Hey, I think here's the thing. There's only one. I think there's only one way OU wins this game. One way only.
Waiting.
Michael Hawkins has to have over 100 yards rushing. Only chance they have. Only chance they have is for Michael Hawkins to rush for over 100 yards. I mean, Dylan Gabriel last year had about $118, and that was one of the reasons they won.
KJ, are you talking about his high school tape 6 years ago? Are you talking about his high school tape from Booker T?
Hey, I will say this. I'm going to say this. There's been a lot of Longhorn fans on here throughout the week, and some of them are like Quentin, which they are pretty open-minded, which, hey, I can respect that. It's not like everything's great and dandy over here at Texas. I mean, I kind of respect that as an OU person. I'm the same way. I'm not picking OU to win every game by 50 points. But he's saying the D ends overrun plays a lot.
Dean said it. Whoa. Dean said
Jerry,
Ennis and Fruit Gibson all back. That's
Jerry.
Hilarious.
Right now, drop the tweet or wherever you found that and put it in here, please. There's no chance Dean said that, is there?
No.
Well, maybe there is a chance Dean said that. I mean, if Hunter says that is not true.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Cap. Jenna calling Cap. I didn't even know what Cap was till a few weeks ago. I thought this was a cap. By the way, have you seen this cap?
I'm looking at it and I'm wearing it, Jay.
FanStop. Check them out, www.thefanstop.com. When you get there, sign up for the Shirt of the Month Club. Awesome shirts, officially licensed merchandise.
You better get it tomorrow.
Hey, you know how you can go buy shirts at certain places, and they're nice shirts, but they're not officially OU logo or whatever team logo. These are officially licensed. Use code SURGE to get 10% off your first 3 months.
Drew, hey, if you want it by the Texas game, you got to order it tonight.
Probably tonight or tomorrow. Hey, Drew.
Yeah, Thune said Farouk back for South Carolina. Again, I'll believe it when I see it. He should be, but that would be 7 weeks. But you just never know.
Let me see. I was gonna try to get one of these comments. I'm trying to find it.
Chris got his first shirt, loved it.
What?
Chris got his first shirt and loves it.
Nice. If Hawkins goes down, need to go with experienced Thompson. What do you think of that? Here's what I'll say to this. Do you think, and this is all hypothetical, and I know we don't do hypotheticals on the Sooner Surge, but we're doing a hypothetical tonight, Jaron.
Oh.
And it would be this. Do you think Arnold mentally, headspace, is there ready to?
Yes.
You do, where if Hawkins would go down, he'd be in there ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
I'm just basing it on what the players and coaches said, that he's doing everything the right way. I'm not saying he should go in. Probably Casey Thompson. I'm just saying he would, I think, be mentally okay.
Hey,
I mean, I think he's preparing, if that's what you mean.
Hey, Selwyn. Famone Roster was on here. He's a Tennessee guy. I think maybe the Tennessee guys might be traveling. They'll probably join back up. But Missouri fans, we've only had 1 or 2 ever on here. And you know how Missouri fans are. Now after this happened, we probably won't see them the rest of the year until they play OU. And you probably won't see them before they play OU, only after they play OU and if they win. That would be the only chance you see Missouri fans again. Eli Drinkwitz is still trying to find another blanket to put in another player's hotel room.
I'm really curious about bulletin board material on pressers this week. If there's anything that's going to be said.
Did you see the Texas A&M postgame interview? They were asking the players about the Missouri player, I think it was Brady Cook, maybe, that talked about the crowd noise.
Oh, unbelievable.
So they asked some of the A&M players, was there anything that really motivated you this week? Two of the guys both said, yeah, the fact that they respected the 12th man and saying it's not loud here. Bulletin board material matters, but I don't think it matters when you get in the game. I think once you get in the game and start playing, it's the best team's going to probably win. It's how you play and execute.
Did you hear Danny Stutzman on the breakdown say Cincinnati was louder than Auburn?
No way.
That's what he said. Thomas Quinn
Really?
says they will be going against the best pass pro unit in the country, 96.7 grade per PFF, which is essentially perfection.
I agree. Thomas, their O-line's great against the pass, their pass protection. They're not great in the run.
It's easy to pass protect if you are running the ball, though, and against some other teams. The only defense they've played is Michigan, Jay.
I agree. They haven't played a great defense.
And they handled Michigan. I'll give them credit.
And shocker, everybody, Dak Prescott just turned the ball over again. I'm so done with Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, obviously, I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan.
Hey,
Once
Hunter,
again, at the goal line.
I'm a Dallas fan. Stop putting messages. I'd like to kind of watch the game on my own later.
Why? You don't need to watch it. They're going to lose. I mean, it's typical, dude.
Well, I'll run it for him.
Bring back Tony Romo. Get him out the booth. Suit him up. He'd be just as good as Dak Prescott.
Tony Romo's awful.
Tony Romo, way better than Dak Prescott.
I'm not getting in this argument with you.
Okay,
dude.
I don't care if you do or not. I'm just telling you, you're wrong here, but whatever.
Remote Biz Income is a Sooner Surge Unlimited member. Must have just joined up. All y'all sports geek list 200 keys to victory, but nobody's talking about OU versus Texas kicking game. Actually, I did talk about it in a video that we put out today. I can name many special teams plays in this rivalry that have been massive. And Elzinga has been great for OU this year, flipping the field. OU's been pretty good overall in special teams. I still don't trust it to come down to a field goal that OU would make it. But OU's punting game has been really good. And I agree with you. This game, we have seen Gabe Burkich miss kicks. We've seen Dicker, the kicker, make kicks. Like it's something you got to keep an eye on. Punt returns.
Hey, and Jingle Stick, you're right. It just was in the chat, so I talked about it. Hey, frightening. I don't even know how to pronounce that because it's spelled F-I. Is it Frightening Truth?
Truth. It's
Frightening Truth. He's saying this sarcastic, I think. Nobody on here is saying that OU's got a big win. I mean, no, OU does not have a top tier win yet. They don't. They haven't beaten anybody top tier. Texas would be the first one. I would argue that
would Auburn, outside of Michigan, would Auburn be the best team Texas has played this year if they played them? Yes.
Oh yeah, outside of Michigan.
Speaking of kicker, did you see Boomer has announced that he's leaving UCF in the middle of the year?
Redshirting. Yes, I saw that. And his name is Boomer. That's right. Last name Boomer. Remember, he drilled one against OU last year. What has happened to UCF?
Oh, Jay, they're saying that the kicker for them. They're not talking about Auburn, the team. They're talking about their kicker, Auburn.
Oh, Auburn is a beast. I see where you're going. Never mind.
We're talking special teams.
And I agree, Hub. Why do you need to wait for Baltimore? It is what it is. It's OU Texas. There's no need for bulletin board material. It's all you need. It is going to be weird. It is going to be weird being a 2:30 kick. I'm not going to lie. So used to that 11 o'clock kick. What time is Oregon, Ohio State? Night? I'm assuming that's a 6:30 kick. National television, right?
It's the night game, Jay. Passing game carries the team. Sark is the screen doctor. Yeah. And OU's got to be very, very playing quick, but not playing too quick where you get out of position and you can't play the screen game well. They've got to be very, what's the word I'm looking for? Very, not patient, disciplined is what I'm looking for.
Hey, Tyler and Tatted Sailor bring up some good points about recruiting. OU, the home team. OU will get the recruits. But like Tyler says, they can still go to the game, just not as a guest of Texas on the sideline like OU. Fans might be a little more rowdy. True. I'm trying to think. That game could end at under the lights, maybe. It gets dark about 7 now. It'd be
Yeah,
close.
it'll be over before it'll be dark, but it won't be dark for lights.
Oh, I forgot
Juan,
about this. That's what happened to UCF.
oh yeah,
Ted Roof
Juan
happened.
Blero from Japan. Before the 76 spy game, Barry Switzer was walking down the tunnel at the Cotton Bowl with President Ford and Royal, and some guy from the crowd yells, "Who? Oh wow, yeah, that sounds pretty. Sounds like OU Texas."
Hey, Chuck says D has to score people. Do you think OU has to? This is a question right here. Does OU have to have a defensive touchdown to win this game? I don't
No,
think they
they don't
have
have
to.
to have a defensive
They got
touchdown.
to get turnovers, though.
They just got to get turnovers, short fields. You don't have to score a touchdown.
Hunter says yes. Hunter says yes.
Well, yeah, and Hunter
Chuck,
thinks Texas is winning by 50, probably.
17. He's got Texas winning by 17. Hunter's got Texas winning by 17 points.
Wow.
Chuck says yes. Monty says yes. And this is a perfect truth. Houston hasn't looked like anything, and then they go this week and win
You just
at
never know.
TCU. I mean, you just don't know this anymore. Why is that? Is it parity's better?
Parity is better, Jay.
Is it because now people are getting paid? It's going to become like the NFL?
Hunter's getting called out for a 17 pick, Jay.
Well, Chuck, you're coming at me for picking Texas in a 1-score game. Hunter's got OU losing by 3 scores. So
Temple did not win. Temple fumbled the ball
They
on the
lost
1 yard line and lost.
but they were playing UConn. I mean, UConn's bad. College is the new NFL.
Yes.
Hey, SMU, my sleeper. Hey, right now you got 3 teams that can make the playoff from the ACC. You got SMU, Miami, and Clemson. That's it, right? Is there anyone I'm missing?
Duke.
No, it ain't happening.
They
How
can.
many-
They're 5-1.
How many realistically do you think they get? And by the way, could you goaded? I cannot stand Texas Longhorns. They're my most hated team in college football. I'm just telling you right now, I haven't beaten Oklahoma by 1 score. That's my pick right now. That does not mean I'm a Horn fan. Jeez.
Yeah, Jay. I don't know what to think on that. All I know is all week it's going to be back and forth, the bantering, and it's going to be a blast.
Hey,
Jay,
some of y'all
Texas.
in here that are getting so upset with me for picking Texas, it's kind of ridiculous, to be honest
KJ
with you.
Goated, I guess, knows who you are, Jay. He knows your thoughts. He knows your thoughts. He knows your mind, Jay.
Hey, all I'm saying is this.
Lose your mind right now, Jay. Let's hear it.
Chuck, right now I'm picking Texas. I get people that say I'm a Texas fan because I picked Texas. Guys, I go with what I watch on TV, and I think, okay, right now, I think Texas is about 6 points better than Oklahoma. And right now I have them winning by 6, okay? Does not mean I'm a Texas fan, dadgummit. And I get so tired of that. If I'm not pumping sunshine to you people 24/7 and you rip me, it's ridiculous.
Jinka Blank says OU gives Texas first loss. Mark it down. Tatted Sailor, I think the game for OU to win this game, it's got to be in the 20s. It's got to be like the Auburn game, and I think it can be. I think OU could hold Texas under 30. If they do that, they're going to have a chance in the end.
And Clark, I've said the same thing. A touchdown either way. It could go either way. Right now I'm picking Texas. It could go either way. Would I be shocked if Oklahoma won? No, I would not.
Here's our nightly woe is me and Eric. Our nightly woe is me and Eric. Wham, wham. Jay, join the club.
I don't, hey, and I don't care if you troll because you goaded. It's really not even coming from you that I'm getting this riled up. It's the fact that I get called sunshine pumper a lot, by the way, and I'm not a sunshine pumper. And then when I pick against OU, you got people saying I'm not even an OU fan. Jeez.
You're not, Jay.
No, Juan Blero. Here's what I think on this. If anybody cares to hear an opinion from somebody who's going to talk about it really and just say, let me answer this 2 ways. First, I'm going to answer the way you guys want me to answer it. How is Texas D? Texas D sucks bad. I almost said something else. Texas D sucks really bad. Okay. And will they suffer? Oh, no chance. OU hangs 50 against Texas Saturday. Period. 50 points. Boom. You like that? No, that's not going to happen. Do you know what I think is going to happen? I think Texas D is pretty daggum good. I think they're not as good against the run. Problem is, oh, you can't run the ball. So
Jay, that's my issue. Texas's weakness seems to be their D line, but OU's strength is not their O line.
That's right.
For OU to win this game, and by the way, I'm just warning everyone.
I was very close, and hey, I think you probably know what I was getting ready to say.
Guys, guess what? I'm going to go ahead and tell you it's probably not going to be a surprise because, of course, I'm the biggest sunshine pumper known to man. Not. But listen, I am going to pick OU. I'm going to pick them. I haven't given a score prediction. It's going to be a close game. And the only reason I'm picking OU is because of the rivalry game and the fact that this game, the stats, records, who did what before and after does not matter. But I will say this. I don't like the fact that Texas's weakness is not OU's strength. I wish it was. It's not. Now, if Hawkins can establish some kind of run, bootlegs, and get something early, I think that's massive. And by the way, OU cannot go down early. If OU's down 2 tutties early, they're not coming back.
This is what's crazy. And I think this is a credit to Michael Hawkins, William, because of this. The fact that we're not really talking about him being a true freshman because he played really good poised ball at Auburn is, I think, why we're not talking about it. But you're exactly right. For a true freshman, this would be historical. It's never happened. True freshmen start the OU Texas game. For him to go in there and win it would be absolutely amazing. And do not get me wrong. Can OU win this game? Heck yes. Would it shock me? Heck no. It would not. But right now, I'm just leaning Texas a little bit. We still got 5 days. Maybe I change my mind. Maybe you guys can change my mind if you think you can.
I think OU's only strength right now, offensive strength, is the play of Michael Hawkins and his escapability. Quentin said Simmons and Hill. Yeah, and guess what? Michael Hawkins is faster than both of them.
That's true.
So that's just
what I really don't understand is, and this one here too, is the injury is at wide receiver, the fact they haven't been able to run the ball, the fact the O-line hasn't played great, yet I'm supposed to pick OU right now to win. I mean, that's a can it happen? Yes, but what would I base that on right now? The only thing I could base it on right now is their defense is that good, which you all know I'm a big believer in this defense. I think it's a dang good defense. Top 3 in the SEC. By the way, the ones that thought Alabama was a better defense than Oklahoma, you're wrong. They're not.
Hey, real quick, we got Bobby. What if OU can't get to Quinn? Well, I hate what ifs. If they can't get to Quinn, it's going to be a long afternoon. But guess who else we have on here? The other Bobby. The OG Bobby.
Let's go, Bobby.
Welcome back. He's been sipping the Hawkins Kool-Aid. OU by 3.
Oh, wow.
Welcome back, Bobby Wiley.
Bobby's, man, he's coming in strong tonight. Jeez.
Been at the fair all week, man.
Dang, bro, coming back with an OU victory. Last time we talked to Bobby, it was doomsday. What happened? He's a believer in Hawkins, man. The fair can do that to you, Jerm.
Clay says OU always matches up well mentally except 22. Like our chances every year. Win, path to playoff changes. Not only does it change for OU, it changes for a whole lot of teams in that conference.
And Drew's dropping some facts in here. Here we go. I like this tonight. Let's go. Jay, reasons to believe. Our defense. I agree with that, Drew. Let me go down these real quick. Drew, agree with you. Banged up years makes a couple mistakes that could put them behind early. Absolutely agree with you.
Could happen.
Absolutely agree. They have progressed on offense as Hawkins came in. Agree little bit. Haven't seen enough of it because it was one game. Gelling more in O-line. I would agree that could help you. And in fact, I said this a few days ago. With 2 more weeks of practice like they've had, it could happen. What I'm basing my pick on, guys, listen to me carefully. I'm basing it on, yes, 2 weeks to practice with this O-line, Hawkins to get ready. But in my head, what I'm seeing is I've seen so much of Seth Luttrell in this offense in the first 5 games, it's hard for me to pick it. That's all. I'm just not there yet, guys. I'm not there yet, okay?
Hey, real quick.
I'm
Chris,
close. I mean, I got it one
Chris,
possession.
thanks for the super. Second of all, OU not only leads the SEC, I believe OU leads the nation in sacks. And guess what? Tennessee and Auburn's O-line are really good. And OU got the quarterback. I will say that. Thomas, I am going to call you crazy. I have been, anyone who's watched this show knows how much I supported Jackson Arnold. You cannot go into it would not be better for Jackson Arnold to be playing.
And hey, real quick, I'm not there yet, Aaron. I mean, maybe I will be by Saturday morning or Friday night. Join me Friday night. Maybe I change my mind. I don't think I will. Hey, Bobby, if you're right on this, if they don't get to Quinn, they're going to have issues. But let me say this. Let me say this real quick, Bobby. You do know that OU leads the SEC in sacks. They don't lead the Big 12 in sacks. They don't lead the AAC in sacks. They don't lead the Mountain West in sacks. They lead the SEC in sacks. They get to people. Okay, they will get to him.
I'm going to use my thing again. I got a feeling anal glaucoma is coming on too, and I don't see my butt going in tomorrow, but doesn't mean it's going to happen. I don't care about a feeling. Ooh, wait. A feeling. Woo!
Are you not showing up to work? Are you calling in? Are you calling in tomorrow with anal glaucoma?
OU has 18 sacks. Texas has given up 5 sacks. Hunter always drops the facts. And I'll say this again. Tennessee and Auburn have, honestly, pretty good O-lines, everyone said. That's what everyone said.
I think they're laughing at your comment. Aaron Hawkins is coming to Dallas. Believe that. Okay, more of a shock right here. You ready? Yeah, too much info, Jarv. Hey.
It's a saying, guys. It's a saying.
Hey, more of a shock on Saturday. Ready for it? Would you be more shocked if Michael Hawkins throws for over 200 yards? Or more shocked if OU allows 30 points on defense?
I'd be more shocked that OU allows 30 points.
See you, Micah. Have a good night. Appreciate it.
Wow, 5 sacks. FanStop says OU's going to get 5 sacks. What they
5
get
sacks
last year in this game?
5 sacks would be.
Why'd Bobby say? Bobby said, "Oh my gosh, Tulane." I never mentioned Tulane. I said Tennessee and I said Auburn. Last year, OU had 5 sacks. That's what they're saying. Last year, Jay.
Hey, frightening tooth. First off, hey, real quick, hang on. Hey, hang on. Hey, Mike Hawkins. Hey, would you stop doing that helicopter thing, bud? Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna get you killed, man. Please stop that. Jeez.
I'm glad you took care of that, Jay.
Jeez, I don't talk to Michael Hawkins, okay?
Hey, wait. Yeah, hey, Mike,
come on.
Hey, Mike, stop giving it your all. We want you to just kind of take it out of bounds. Step out of bounds. Don't go for victories. What?
Yeah, hey, by the way, if you would next time slide about 5 yards short of the end zone. Yeah. Yeah, just worried about you.
Oh man,
yeah, just kind of slide about the 3-yard line. We don't want to win. God.
Oh man.
Jeez.
Sunday night, Jay. It's a fun
one. It's Sunday night, man. Sunday night.
Remember, Jinka says, we are not Mississippi State. That game was nearly tied at halftime. Just saying. That is true. Texas, Mississippi State got a little dicey in that first half.
Hey, yeah, that is what Nico did, ran out of bounds. Hey, real quick.
That is true.
Great guy. We differ on a lot of things. I'm 100% with you here, bud.
Oh, 100%.
Here's the thing. I would think if you go by the way most teams have played Oklahoma, they're just playing man on the outsides. You got to challenge them. You got to challenge them down the field. And you know what? I said this in a video. Turnover is going to be the key to this game, right? That's what I said. But the other thing that's going to be a key to this game that we haven't talked about yet at all, it's going to be mano-a-mano, wide receiver versus cornerback. Both sides of the ball, OU and Texas. Who's going to make those plays? Whether it be jump balls down the field, you're going to have to make plays in these games to win. You aren't winning games if your guys don't make one-on-one matchups and win them. They got to win them, man.
Hey, Bobby, those teams are still better than anyone Texas played outside of Michigan. And the other fact is OU sacked Tennessee and Auburn plenty of times as well. So let's not – I mean, that's a bad take.
Hey,
the Texas non-con was pitiful outside of Michigan.
Real quick, I don't know the answer to this. Maybe Hunter can look it up. I don't know. But if Texas has allowed 5 sacks this year with the schedule they played, did all 5 come against Michigan or somebody? I mean, let me know how many they had against Michigan there.
Yeah.
Oh, this has been fun tonight. Let's go, man. 0 versus Michigan. So the other 5
allowed
sacks.
5 sacks outside of the Michigan game.
So they allowed 5 sacks versus Colorado State, 2 versus Mississippi State, ULM, and whoever else they played. So I'm just saying. And by the way, Quentin says PFF
this
says
is
Texas.
my thoughts on the PFF. It's an onomatopoeia for the word it sounds like. PFF to me means I don't give a rip about PFF.
Well, I think the PFF
in this game you throw the stats out the window. You get it all out the window. It doesn't matter, guys. It's a rivalry game.
That's true. That's true. I'm not going to disagree. What'd you throw? What was that?
A hat.
At least you didn't throw that hat. The PFF is good for some things.
Agreed, Jay. It doesn't matter in a rivalry.
But I've looked up some PFF stuff after the game, and you're like, wait, I thought they played a great game, and they're sitting at a 30. By the way, while we're on PFF, you know, the guy everybody wanted from the portal for Oklahoma at left tackle, Lance Hurd, put out a 41 against Arkansas. So
yeah, he's bad. Hey, I think Quinn Ewers is deceptively good at scrambling. Archie Manning is the better athlete of the two. I don't know if those sacks were against Archie or Quinn, but I'll say Quinn sometimes can escape a little bit, but to sit here and say that he's going to be able to escape a lot of – I haven't said this yet because I don't think it's happening. If OU's to get a lead on Texas and pin their ears back, it could be a long day for them as well.
And I agree with Famona probably 1,000%. I've bucked up from 100 to 1,000. It's great for NFL, but they have more people kind of towards doing that. They do spend more time on the NFL, I think. I think the NFL part of it is great.
And I'm going to say this too. I understand it. I brought it up every night. Quinn Ewers is the dude at Texas. It's his team. But if he throws a pick early, he's going to start hearing some things.
Well, I think
I don't know why either remote biz income, Ethan Downs, this is his game, seems to be every year.
I agree.
Last year, he should have got a 15-yard penalty for taunting early in that game, and he didn't.
And Chester, I will agree with Matt here on one thing. The word elite is hard for me to go with. Elite to me is like you're talking the best 2 or 3 defenses in the nation. OU's defense is really dang good, and they make plays when you need to make them. That's the thing they do. We've had arguments. If anybody's watched this live show before, the elite word is a word that always tends to trigger. And I just think it's too hard to know what is elite right now. It's a really good defense, though. I know that. And it's a playoff defense. Promise you that.
I've seen the Woody Washington stuff. I've defended Woody Washington. Woody Washington, if he plays, should only be on guaranteed running downs. Or if he's going to be guarding a tight end coming out of the backfield, he should not be on the receivers.
Hey, real quick, I got to get to some. Jackson, this is not last year. This is a new year. Kelvin Banks is not overrated this year.
He's played really well this year.
Guys do get better every year in football. That's typically what happens. He's gotten better. I mean, you can't argue with what he's put out there this year. He hasn't had a pressure on a quarterback from the left side. Are you kidding me? I mean, how can you say that's overrated? Now, has he faced the guys that'll be rushing him on Saturday? No, Jackson, I would agree with that. Has he faced R. Mason Thomas? No. But you can't say he's overrated yet. Talk to me after Saturday, we'll see.
Chris, I'm going to say something, and I agree with what Jay said earlier, and Sooner fans are going to hate me for this. The only thing that makes me nervous about playing Texas is Sarkisian's a great mind. I don't think Tom Herman was even close. Tom Herman was scared. Tom Herman couldn't devise a scheme to get out of a paper bag. Steve Sarkisian is a brilliant mind, but on the other side, I think Venables is as well on defense. That's what makes this game so fun. The players, the ability level that OU has, I love. I love the depth that they have on defense. All those things I love. Who's going to come out with a different package?
Hey, the only gold that Tom Herman ever found at Texas was in his teeth. Never had that gold hat. I don't know what his record was, but
Jackson, no one said you can't have your opinions. They just said it was a bad one.
Hey, Chuck, what are you talking about? Are you making this up as you go? Are you talking about something I said? Or, I mean, I might have said something stupid. I don't remember.
Chuck, we were talking about defense, not offense. Keys to OU's victory: win the turnover battle, eliminate silly penalties, and special teams. Yeah, two of those three, I think, are. I mean, special teams can be big, but those other two are more important.
Hey,
and silly penalties have to be eliminated.
Yeah. Hey, Chuck, you've been saying this for a while, and you're 100% right. Right now, on the receiver core that they have been throwing out there, I mean, let me ask you, Jerm, like, if Burks does not play, I don't know if he will. If he doesn't play on the wide receiver unit, who are you like? That guy's going to change the game on Saturday. Go. That you're confident that they're going to make a game-changing play.
I don't have one, Jay.
Okay, I think that's what Chuck's saying.
It's going to have to be a team effort. Now, I will say this, and no one's going to like this. You're not going to like what I'm about to say. OU's national. I'm not saying OU is like the national championship offense. Curtis Fagan, Mackey, like those guys weren't just. I mean, the scheme was so good. The problem is, OU's scheme isn't any good either right now. You can have okay players or good players and not elite if the scheme is really, really good, a.k.a. DG, other guys, Josh Heupel for that matter. The scheme was great, and he ran it really, really well. Look at Paviel for Vanderbilt.
Yeah, and hey, what Jackson, do you think I think he is a piece that you could use on certain situations like Jackson saying.
5 to 10 downs, and I don't even know if he's going to play.
But will he play? That's the question. I mean, he can help you on the rush for sure and do some things on the edge. Don't forget, Deshaun McCullough last year had a great game against Texas. Great game.
Yeah. Dalpo says, I don't often agree with Jackson, but he did say go deep last night.
And Hunter is kind of agreeing with Jackson.
I also heard Danny Stutzman today on Oklahoma Breakdown. They asked about him. He said, yeah, he's been practicing. I'm not sure, how he is, how he's doing. I haven't really talked to him, how he's doing with his injury. I thought it was interesting.
And Jackson, he was outstanding in the goal line last year. That's a fact. Matt Rhodes says OU's passing offense is 118th and their rushing offense is 100th. Yeah, it has not been good. It hasn't been good. Right now it's hard to know that they're going to score enough to beat Texas.
It's bad football with a capital F. I don't know how else you can say it.
They did. I will say this. What you did see against Auburn that gives you hope is that they had some big plays. You got to have I think Jackson said it in our video. You got to have explosive plays to beat Texas, I think, this week. And by the way, real quick.
Maybe Brendan Thompson.
Real quick. Hey, Mike. Yeah, how you feeling? Doing all right? Yeah, hey, Saturday, if the game's on the line Saturday, do not be trying to dive in the end zone. Rather take the L against Texas, buddy. Rather take the L, bud.
Hey,
yeah, just slide, man.
Put the phone down. Put the phone down. Everybody hit the like and go check out the fan stop at thefanstop.com. Order your upside down Longhorn hat right now so that you have it by the time you have the game on the television, or if you're going to Dallas, you have it shipped to you before then. Sign up for the Shirt of the Month Club as well. We appreciate it. This has been a blast. It's going to be a blast the rest of the week. Tell everyone, hop on board. Our dad is about the same. Just every day is a new day. Every day is a day that God's given them to be here again for another day, and we'll see what happens. Sensei Germ will make an appearance again this week. Thanks for your prayers for our father. We appreciate it, and we will see everybody tomorrow. Have a magnificent Monday.